Hey, Jason here. Thanks for checking out my pickleball journey. I want to talk today about the importance of playfulness. And I think about playfulness when I think about pickleball because pickleball brings people together in competition, but in recreation, people you enjoy. It's easy to talk, to banter, to smack talk and have fun, to be playful. Recently, I spent some time with a friend of mine down in Puerto Vallarta in Mexico, and we just had a really fun time, not just playing pickleball, but walking on the beach, running, trying to avoid the waves as they crashed against the bulkheads, and chasing whales. And it was such a fun time. It was playful. We were just having a blast like kids, with not a worry in the world. And pickleball can be like that too. It can be a place where you can be playful. And so what's the importance of playfulness? Well, three things come to mind for me. First of all, life is hard. I think the Greek thinker and writer Homer said, "The lot of man is to suffer and to die." And we're all on that spectrum somewhere of suffering, dying, and life is hard. Another favorite quote of mine is this: "Be kind. Everyone is fighting a great battle." And when you start hearing people's stories and listening to their lives and getting to know them on the pickleball court, you realize that everyone has their struggles, has their losses, their sadnesses, their wounds. Everyone is fighting a great battle. And so here we come together to play a sport, to be playful, to enjoy a beautiful day and a beautiful sport and great people. And so one of the great things about pickleball and the playfulness that comes with it is that it just brings joy. It can bring, a beam of joy into a person's life. Number two, thinkers and sociologists and people that study trends talk today about the friendship recession for men. Men today have fewer friends than they had in the past. And it's a pretty common for a guy to feel like they don't have any friends or any close friends or very few friends. They don't have people that they'll sit around and have coffee with and, in the waning years of their life and tell stories. There is a friendship recession among men. And what's so great about pickleball and the playfulness that comes with it is that it brings men together, men and women obviously, but it brings us together as men. We can compete, we can find connections, and maybe even go from acquaintance and to maybe getting to know a person, maybe even to friendship. And so in that connection of that sport, we can move from just knowing a person or knowing their name or knowing their weaknesses in terms of the sport to actually really enjoying and valuing them as a person and maybe even being a friend. The third reason that I think this playfulness that comes with pickleball is so important is that there's so much today that divides us. We can be divided by race, by economics, money, who has it, who doesn't, education, culture, religion. I mean, my goodness, I'm a Presbyterian pastor. I work in the areas of the weightiness of things like God's sovereignty and sin and redemption and these really weighty things, the story of the Bible and so on. And my way of thinking in my world is probably very, very different. In matter of fact, I know it is. And so many of the friends and so many of the people I play pickleball with, and yet here we can come together on a court, sitting on the seats as we wait for a game. We can enjoy the playfulness and the fun and the camaraderie that comes with pickleball. And we can find common ground. And one of the things that I'm doing is inviting some of my handful of my friends, and hey, if you want to jump on board with this, that's great. But I'm inviting some of the friends that I've made through pickleball to come on a retreat, a men's retreat, hosted by my church, not just for Christian men, but for men that are interested in taking that next step into friendship, going deeper, working on some of the principles that go across race and culture and economics and psychological affinity and economic status and all those things that could divide us. What are those principles that can move us closer to each other?
say that my kids are grown up. There's a dog in my face. He's out on my lap. That's so cute. So my kids are grown up, and so the hat that I wear as a dad, I'm still a dad, but my role is minimized, diminished.
That's right. So if being a dad is at the core, and then your kids leave the house,
yeah,
that can be a crisis,
so
right?
Now
okay.
I'm a husband, more of a husband.
Yeah.
And I was a teacher, but now I'm mostly retired, and so that also is a hole in my life. And rather than just filling it with pickleball, what I'm trying to fill it with is friendship. And so more important than Jason coming down here to play pickleball with me is just Jason coming down, and me sharing my love of Mexico with Jason. So right now we're out on a sailboat, and we're living the dream.
We are living the dream. Talk about there was a really fun couple mornings ago, maybe it was yesterday morning. The tides were high. We were having to run past bulkheads before the waves hit us. It was a moment of being like a kid again. Now we're like in our mid-50s, and we were laughing. It was, describe that, and also playing shuffleboard, and just the joy of I don't know, friendship, the joy of
it's camaraderie. It's in both of those examples, our minds were 100% in the present.
In the present. That's a good point.
We weren't worrying about the future.
That's a really good point.
We weren't worrying about, like plans that we made, or whether we're late to this or late to that. It was just living in the moment.
We were in the moment, and we were being able to be playful. When you're a grown person, when do you get to goof off, laugh, be a kid?
Totally be in the moment. You spend your adolescence wishing you were older.
Yeah.
You spend your 20s and 30s looking.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Sweet